Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has met with unions on Monday over challenges in the South African economy. Matthew Parks, who's Cosatu's Parliamentary coordinator, joins me now. Thank you so much for your time on SABC News this afternoon. Matthew, just take me through some of the concerns that you as unions raised in that meeting.
Good afternoon. So, this is a standard meeting we have with the President and the Cabinet as Cosatu and as organised labour every few months to discuss key issues affecting the economy, workers, the state, businesses and so forth. Because we have a vested interest. We need to see the economy growing. We need to see the state being capacitated to create jobs, to reduce poverty, to deliver public services. So the meeting was a pre-arranged meeting. It was actually due in August, basically to get reports and updates from government around the turnaround plan around Eskom, making sure we have reliable and affordable electricity. And we have begun to see some progress on that front, albeit with the blips, the bumps in the road every now and then, like we're experiencing this current week. There was a chance for government to give us updates around the interventions around Transnet. And we were very worried about the state of Transnet because that's having a huge impact, as we're currently seeing, around the mining, the manufacturing, the agricultural industries, which are large employers of workers, but also are key to revenue for the state. They're key to the economy and so forth. And if we don't fix Transnet urgently, we're very fearful about the mining manufacturing industry, and in particular their jobs. But this is also important for the state because a huge chunk of the state's taxes that fund our public services comes from those industries, especially the mining industry. The leaks that we have seen for the past 2 weeks, and the instruction from Treasury to departments to freeze posts, to freeze infrastructure investments, that wasn't formally part of the agenda, but we had requested to discuss it with government because we're very concerned about it as Cosatu, as organised labour. We don't believe it's a correct approach to a state which is already bleeding, to public services which are already breaking because of a huge amount of vacancies, underinvestment in infrastructure, in our hospitals, our schools, our police stations, our roads, etc. So government has indicated to us that, look, these are just simply options that Treasury has indicated to government to consider. Not just for the medium-term budget statement, which is due on the 1st of November at Parliament, but also beyond this administration after the elections next year. I think for us what's critical as Cosatu is to come with the right approach to the right problems. Our problems is around electricity supply, it's around transit, it's around metro rail, local government, federal enterprises, about growing the economy, about a high unemployment rate. Our problem is not how little we pay public servants or nurses or teachers or doctors or police officers.
Yeah.
The crisis right now in the revenue is about Transnet. So pickpocketing a nurse is not going to fix the trains. You have to fix the trains to make sure the trains work. But outsourcing the bill for corruption and state capture to nurses and police officers is not going to resolve anything. That's what the former Minister of Finance tried to do, Tito Mboweni, in 2020, when he imposed a wage freeze. And it failed spectacularly. So I think for us, as Labour, government must deal with the right issues. Giving Panado to a person who's broken its arm is not going to fix that arm.
All right. I know you've spoken about the logistics issue, especially with rail. We know we could get so much more if rail infrastructure is working properly for the miners and so many people in industry. But we really are at a critical juncture in our economy in South Africa. We are reportedly paying 27 billion rand a month in interest to service our debt. We cannot continue as usual. There needs to be some kind of a drastic measure that's implemented, not only in fixing things, but also in trying to save money. How do you see that happening?
Yeah, that's what we've been raising alarm bells as Cosatu since 2019 with the budget statement at Parliament that time, when we thought government was not moving with great enough speed to address our fundamental issues. And that really is around electricity, it's around our railway network, our ports modernization, the state of public and basic services, the state of many SOEs, and growing the economy. The state pays down the debt because it receives company taxes, income taxes, VAT, and so forth. That's how you fix the issue. The state doesn't resolve issues by cutting on the wage bill. That really is a lazy solution to how to resolve issues. And we're very fearful because we had raised this point that time already 4 years ago. We've got to deal with the fundamental obstacles to growing the economy. If you grow the economy, companies can make profits, they can sell their goods, they'll pay the company taxes to the state. Right now, the fiscus is bleeding because the mining industry is struggling to get its coal and other mineral exports onto our trains, through our ports to the destinations. We have failed to take advantage of two commodities booms since COVID-19 because of this Transnet. So unless we fix Transnet, unless we fix our infrastructure and our electricity, we're not going to move. We can cut the wage bill, we can slash it by 50%, etc. All we'll achieve then is to delay fixing the economy and to collapse public services. And we've seen when government invested in the South African Revenue Service by employing additional 500 staff, investing in infrastructure for the IT capacity, it managed to increase revenue owed to the state.
Mr. Parks, my apologies for cutting in. We've just got a minute left, and I want to find out from you, if Treasury and government do go ahead with the measures that they are thinking about or they've been reported on, what are you going to do as unions?
Yeah. So first, government has to come with a position. Right now, they've indicated to us they've not adopted anything. They want to engage. They're looking at options. We hope that government will be sober, will not be reckless or take suicidal positions. If they do, obviously we'll have to respond to that. But right now, they haven't come to a single position. We know that within government, many government departments, many sober persons in cabinet, etc., are not convinced by Treasury's reckless proposals. We believe that Treasury is engaging in a bit of fear-mongering and reckless brinkmanship. But look, nonetheless, we want to see government succeed. We don't want to see government collapse. We're keen to assist them, and we've got proposals we've tabled to them, like investing in SARS, tackling tax evasion and corruption, investing in quality public services. They can really grow the economy and turn the fiscus around, because we don't want to see the fiscus collapse. We don't want to see government go into the IMF, because that'll be a disaster for all of us.
All right, Matthew Parks, Parliamentary Coordinator at Cosatu, thanks so much for your time on SABC News this afternoon, just giving us insight into their concerns as Labour and what may happen.